Okay. Let's see here. Okay. All right. Shalom. PITW. With Ahaya. Not prophetess, but peace in the wilderness. With Ahaya. Today we got a pretty good message here. It's going to be pretty potent, you guys. It's going to be great food for the spirit. And it's going to be something you can take with you the rest of your living. Um, it's going to also allow you to step into the realm in which I have moved over to, not by my choice, but by the will of the Father. So the topic is food for the spirit. The reason why I like that topic is because it also can wean out the wheat and the tare. It will separate the wheat and the tare. That's what this topic is going to do. It's going to separate the wheat from the tare. Okay. So Sister Deborah, is going to take just a moment before we start. Just a moment to try to get a few people in. And if not, Sister Deborah going to pull on up. Yep, I'm going to pull on up. Okay. Like I said, when you say food for the spirit, people runs the opposite way. Why? Because the things of the spirit people don't seem to be excited about. Let's say, for instance, if heaven had wrote in a narrow gate, the only reason why the narrow would and shall be narrow is because he knows those on the earth is not looking nor desiring the narrow gate. They wanted to go in the way of the broad. So the good thing about it, like I said, is that this message is a message that will and shall separate the tare from out of the wheat. And I'm going to pray that the Most High lay this type of message on my heart at all times, because it's such an awesome message. And I just think that as I was doing the study, I was like, but Father, this stuff been in here all this time. But I can understand why many can't see what it's actually saying. They can only see what the flesh is capable of seeing. Hello in the live chat. It's good to see you. So I say unto you, we're going to get into it. Now, this is the yesterday I had quite a bit of people because I had both pages up. I'm not going to do that again. I'm just going to have this page. If they don't come over to this page, that's on them. Okay, it's on them. What I did is I did that just to kind of usher everyone over to the page today. But what it looks like, and we can't say what it looks like because people are still at work, they got things to do, and so on and so on. But I'm going to press forward. But what happened yesterday when I had both YouTube page up live is many were informing me of a demonic spirit that was in one of my videos. And that was the one when I spoke of the bombshell being dropped. When y'all dropped that bombshell on me, I had on a red shirt and I was in the downtown area of Missouri, and they were speaking to me yesterday on my old channel. I had several, matter of fact, it was most of all of them that was on there. It was quite a bit. But the problem I had, I asked them, well, why didn't you all tell me? It's so amazing that they heard it. And when one said there was a demonic spirit on your page, and I said, oh, yeah. Then another one came up and said the same thing. I heard it, Miss Deborah. And another one came up, and then another one, then another one, then another one, then another one. And in me, I'm like saying, why didn't someone say, well, Deborah, I heard a demonic spirit on the page. What?
Oh, this is calling on behalf of your healthcare provider.
I thought maybe that was an emergency from my son. So I'm like saying, everyone said they were on the page and they heard that demonic voice. They heard it. And I was informing them, I don't go back to the page. I just never go back and listen to myself. Only time I do that is when the spirit of the Ruach say, Deborah, I want you to just check out your page, and I want you to check out what people are saying here or in the live chat. And then he'll say, check out what you were saying and listen to it. Otherwise, y'all, I upload it and keep it going. Sister Deborah, just keep it going. So all of these people was on the page, the old YouTube page, informing me that they heard the sound. Now, here it is this evening, and I'm about to inform you all what I heard. And the question is, if you all have listened to that video, which I said the Most High dropped the bombshell, and about the war, it's not in the flesh, it's in the spirit. And if you heard, did anyone hear the demonic voice on that video? What about you, Ann, in the live chat? Did you happen to hear that voice in that video? I do know it was so many of them saying they heard it. Oh, I heard it. I heard it. Oh, I heard it. Oh, I heard it too. Did y'all hear that? And this one lady said, well, Miss Deborah, I not videoed it. Record. And then another one said, I record. And then you hear everyone say, I heard that too. I thought that was strange. And I'm like, but didn't no one tell me? So I could go look, or not look, so I can go hear what they said they heard. Okay. Okay. So you said you heard it too. I mean, everybody was saying they heard it. And I myself was like, everybody heard it, but I didn't even go back to even check the video out. So I had no idea that it was something. So in this video, I'm going to express to you all what I heard. This is what I inherit. I say as a young girl, a young girl, is I could discern, I can interpret dreams and visions. Okay. I can hear behind hearing. Okay. I'm going to be honest with you. You know how the world used to have the psychics, a lot of people having the psychics, and everybody was always, all these talk shows had psychics and psychics and psychics. Why is many people accept and embrace the psychics? Okay. But if I were to tell someone that I'm not a psychic, because that's for the world, but I can read people's mind. And with me being able to do that, it's not a good feeling. It comes with long suffering. It comes with endurance. Because as you read it, you sitting here minding your own business, and you can read somebody's mind. You don't even have to know them. Never seen them a day in your life. So that's something I have had way before I was a teenager. So you said, yes, after listening to it again, I did hear it the first time. Oh, okay. So you heard it. Now, what I'm going to share with you all is it's going to be kind of deep. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to kind of express to you what I heard. And it's going to be, what is it? Can you tell me what you heard? I mean, in a few words, or in many words, can you actually say what you feel you heard in the live chat? Can you actually say what you feel you heard? And while we're waiting, I'm going to press on with something I uploaded on a TikTok. Okay, and it was, you know how people say having a child didn't come with a book. People always say that. What I'm asking, hello in the live chat, I'm asking those that are in the live chat to give me a in few words, or if you have many words, explain to me what you heard in few words, or if you have many words, what you heard on that video uh, about Yah dropping a bombshell on me regarding the war that's not in flesh and blood, but in spirit. If you heard something, I'm not, I'm, I'm just wanting to know so I can also kind of tell you what I heard. It's going to match a little about, probably pretty much what everybody heard, but I'm going to kind of give you what I heard once I listened to it. Okay. Another thing, I did my video. I didn't just put it on YouTube. I didn't just put it on TikTok. I put it on my Facebook. The Spirit said to me, it is said, Deborah, having a child did not come with a book. Have not you all heard that before? In the live chat, have not you heard that before? That a child did not come with a book. Let's imagine us using that as an excuse. Okay? I think we used it throughout time. I really do. Raising these children, or children didn't come with a book. Yeah, you heard it. I have too. Throughout times, I have heard it. Okay. Okay. A monstrous noise. Okay. Because I did hear that. But I did hear that. Hmm. And what I like about what you said is you said was ain't very angry. So when I tell you what I heard, then it's going to kind of blend in what you are actually saying. And it's going to kind of blend in, and then it's going to all make sense. But earlier today, within the last 3 hours, I had to put up a video regarding at TikTok and on my Facebook, because many of us have heard that saying that a child didn't come with a book. A lot of people would say that, even back in the days, even today, even these young mothers, even these grandmothers, oh, raising a child didn't come with a book. But the Father want me to tell you it did. It did, you guys. Raising a child did come with a book. The Father want me to let you know, oh, yes, it did. So next time you hear somebody say that, you turn around and tell them, oh, yes, it did. Okay? It came with a book. Okay? So what the Father told me, he said, the book came before the child. Okay? That means the book was present before your child got here. Okay? Now watch this here. He said, you just didn't take the time to read it. That's what the Father said. Tell them they just didn't take time to read it. And what the Father is saying, when a child, children that are born, they do come with a book. It's the book that He has allowed to outlive all books. It was a study guide. It was a learning tool. that man never took on. Only the part that suit them and fit them. And I'm not just talking about males, I'm talking about females. The mothers and fathers and family didn't take on the book as a study guide and a tool guide to that child. He said they took on it to use as a, how would you say it, manipulation, to deceive, deception, to rule. You see, they put them in the church to control people, but they couldn't find any place in this book to show them how it comes with a child as well. A child comes with that book, that same book. Going back to Sister Deborah telling everyone, it is a study guide. It is a learning tool. And the Father is telling me today, you tell them. They've said it over and over and over. Somewhere along the line, a lot of people are using it. You know, to justify and clarify and identify that a child didn't come with a book. And the Father said that's not true. He says the book came before the child. You just didn't take out the time in living. And in your living, you didn't take out the time to read it. That is so powerful, you guys. Because it goes, hello, prophet. Prophetess, it's good to see you. It takes out time, he said, in our lives to read it. And that is so true. He's actually saying that instructions and direction book, that learning guide, he said, study it to show thyself. Thyself represent your flesh. So when that child come to the earth, what is he? He flesh. So it had something and things in this book to teach the flesh how to walk therein. How to walk therein. Because when I saw Adam and Eve in the garden, and I realized, I said, Father, you've given him a instruction and a direction. And Father, you even gave him a consequence. He said, that's it. That shows you I always had the way there for them. I warned them. I warned him what I gave him, what he can take of and what he could not. And then I even gave him a consequence. Today they call it commandment and a law. You see? So the Father said it was sitting right there in the Garden of Eden all the time. Today, if someone says that a child is not born without a book, he said that's a lie. The book was always there, but no one took out time in living. Living what? They fleshly life. To do what? To read it. That is so 100 when he told me that, because it's actually saying that the book to instruct us in different areas of this fleshly living was always present. So that's why it outlived all books. And I'm like, wow. So when he said that, he said, Deborah, tell them they just didn't take out time in their living. That means their flesh, in their living, to read it. Watch this here. He said, living came with a book, but life was before the book. And it came from above. That is deep. So now when Sister Deborah tried to figure out how did this book outlive all this chaos and this switching it and turning it upside down and turning it this way and swinging this, smearing this, adding, taking away, it's because it was Yah's will that it supplied the flesh with what it needed. So he said, I said, this is a midnight hour, Father, y'all. But tell him, somewhere along the line, people are using that to justify, clarify, and identify why the life that they're living is a chaos. Oh, I don't know how to deal with these children. I don't know how to handle these children. And the Father says that the book was for the children. Not just for the children, it was for what? Living in this flesh today. It had ways to, what did it tell? What did it tell Adam in the garden? You're not to eat, take of that tree. Take of it. What's going to take from it? His hand taking it, or his entertaining it. You see? So he's saying that the flesh entertained from that tree. So this book is really outliving, even though it's been smeared, it's been tampered with, it's been taken away, it's been added on. But he said, I told him it was always a study guide. That's why you study, to show yourself approved, not no one else, but yourself. That was your flesh. Because the Ruach had a mission to come to give you the fullness. You see, it had its place in all things. So it gives you the fullness. It is the word. Now, when he said that, I was like, but Father, I don't think the people know that. He said, do a TikTok. And I mean, less than 5 minutes. I'm up to 100 now. You know, just viewing it, just within that short time, I said, that many people are listening to it. And even on my Facebook, I looked at that and I said, ain't nobody ever liked on my Facebook like that, but they did, because it's a very powerful message coming from an unknown place. You don't hear nobody say stuff like that, because we always thought, and we always say, oh, raising these kids didn't come with the book. When the Father come to tell you what he said, in the end days, knowledge shall increase. And that knowledge is not the natural knowledge, like man has the knowledge to build this and create this, when Yah has the knowledge too. And that is to bring things to the light that has not reached out of darkness. So I thank the Father for that. Now, I'm going to go into what I heard. Since everyone said that they have heard what was said, they said that they have heard what was said on that video. And on that video, everybody was on one accord. And they said it did sound like, a noise of demonic. And Ann says it's like a monster noise, very angry. What you said about the family. So it was something that was angry. So I was just shocked that many people say they heard it, and I had not. I know that sounds horrible. I had not heard it because I didn't go back, and I didn't hear it when I was videoing. So when I went back to look at it, and once I looked at it, I told my son, come on in. I want you to see if you can hear this. They said they heard something, but I want to see if you can hear it. But I didn't bring him in until I heard it. So after I looked at it, I was in the bed at night and I listened to it. And then I told my son, come in here, listen to this. He listened to it. He said, Mama, what is that? You can definitely hear something. And I said, yes, that's what they were telling me on my YouTube page. They heard it, but I didn't. He said, oh, no, you can hear it. You can hear that. So it is not just for Sister Deborah to hear it, but also for you all to hear it. Okay, but let me tell you, when I went into it with the spiritual ear to hear, okay, and then I can break it down to you more. And then when you go back, you'll say, I can't believe Sister Deborah was able to hear that. So what I heard was me speaking, And like you said, Ann, it was something I was saying about family and the spiritual battle and so on. But what I heard is during that time, I was speaking of what's in the spirit realm versus the battle in the flesh. My thing is, I kept hearing all these sounds. And as I began to hear all these sounds, I pinpointed. It said, "Can you hear it? Can you hear it?" I said, "Yes, I can hear it, but it's just hard." What it was the sword. Praise the mighty Yah. It was a sword, like it was being sharpened. Go back and you hear it, then you will understand it. And I'm like saying, the Father said, "Can you hear it? Can you hear it?" And what he was saying, Deborah, get out of the flesh, go behind it in the spirit so you can hear it. So what I was hearing was a sword being sharpened, and it was fierce. It was fierce to the point of the demonic spirit answered to the sword and disappeared. And that's when you heard calmed. But before the demonic spirit said only one sound, you hear the sword. Praise the mighty Yah. And the Father said, "Do you hear it?" I said, "I heard." "Oh, it's so sharp." He said, "It's like sharpening it." He was sharpening the sword. And Satan sitting there, didn't know what's about to happen to him. He responded, but took away. And if you see it, it'll blow your mind to go back and hear Yah sharpening the sword. It'll blow your mind. Praise the mighty Yah. Praise the mighty Yah. Oh, whatever it was, you noticed, you heard that roaring of that sound, but it was a like it was responding to something. I said, "He's responding to your sword, Father." Yeah. Because before the sound of the demonic voice said only one thing, you heard the sword loud and clear. And the Father said, "Can you hear it?" I said, "Yes, it's the sword." And I said, "And it's sharpening." Because the sword was like, it came on the scene. And I kept saying, "Wait a minute, I know that ain't the sound they talking about. That sound like a sword." Then I started to hear it sharpen. And you know how that sharpen? A lot of people don't like that sound. And it's just sharpen and sharpen. And then it got to where it was, you can tell the sword was as sharpening as it could be. Because now the sharpen starts to like it's prepared now. You know, go back and it'll blow your mind. You gonna say, "Miss Deborah, there is something being sharpened." The Father said that was the sword. And the demonic spirit, once it heard the sword and realized it was being sharpened, it knew it's time to swoop the coop. That's why it said something like, but it wasn't talking to me. It was talking to the one that had the sharpened sword. See, it was answering the one that had the sword. That's what I was able to behold in that whole situation. And that's probably why I couldn't hear it. Why I was videoing. Why? What did I tell you? The battle is not in the flesh. It is in the spirit. And Yah set it up to in a way that I can see exactly what I'm speaking to you and how 100 it is. Because what you all was hearing was something that was taking place in the spirit realm. and y'all were able to hear it in the natural. You see? But you couldn't see it. You see what I'm saying? And it was so unclear to you, but only one thing was clear to you. You heard that demonic voice. You notice that demonic voice only said one word and took off. But if you go back, you can hear that sword throughout the video coming up right before the demonic spirit spoke that one word. You heard that sword sharpening, and it was like sharpening. And then all of a sudden you could hear the sharpening of the sword as if it was completed. And then that's when that voice said something as if it's time to chop your neck off if you ain't out of here. And that voice respond. And what I got out of it is that is exactly what that video was all about. The battle that's unseen, the war, the true war. See, we think Russia and China, Russia and all these and say all these other places, or China and whoever, Israel and Palestine. Oh, baby, let me tell you something. The battle ain't there that you see, because when you get to Matthew 24, he said there are going to be wars and rumors of war. But hold up, y'all, hold up. That's not it. Bam, that's not it. Because we don't understand that the war, the true war, is the unseen war. It's what you cannot see. And what we're about to talk about is such an awesome level of food for the spirit. You are going to wonder, hey, wait a minute, Deborah, are we going or are we coming? Because that's the type of food I'm about to pour out unto thee. So I had to get those two out, the sword that I heard sharpening, the sword that I heard sharpening, and as it seemed as if it was just sharpening, but now it's like it was ready. Now all of a sudden this voice came out, and it didn't talk. It just, in a sense, like a roar. And next thing you know, after that voice, it's back to normal. You see? So the Father was telling me when he asked me, can you hear it? And I said, Father, they said it sounded like a demonic sound of or something like that. Because see, what I was at, when the Spirit asked me, can I hear it? I'm hearing the sharpening of the sword. I hadn't even got to the sound. But once I heard the sharpening of the sword, and I heard it for quite a little length of time, and I'm like, wait a minute, is that the sound they talking about? That don't sound like a demonic spirit, but I can hear it. I said, that's why you asked me, can I hear it? I can hear it. But then comes that voice in the sense of just saying one thing, one word, and took his tail somewhere and sat down somewhere. And it was right back to the natural sound. So if you have time, see if you can go back and see if it will suffer you to hear the sword being sharpened. Okay. And again, the word that Yah gave me about a book. The book is there and has been. And even though man has tampered with it, smeared it, add to it, took away, it's a study guide. And while you study it, you tarry for who? The Holy Spirit. Why? Because the Holy Spirit, what are you tarrying for? What are you waiting for? That's what tarrying mean. Wait. What are you waiting for? You waiting for something greater. That's what they were waiting for in the day of Pentecost. A lot of people don't even know that. If they had the word, what are they waiting for? They waiting for the word. You see? Did they have words from the old, from the prophets of yesterday? Yeah. But ain't nothing greater than the word. And that's what they were waiting for in the upper room. It's called tarrying. You see? So that's why he was explaining to me about the book with words when one is saying that a child is born or the child didn't come with a book. In a sense, how do we supposed to know how to raise them and do this and to do this and do this? And the Father want me to let you know it did come with a book. But while you were living, you didn't take out the time to read it. Okay? You wasn't waiting for him. So he said he always left a token. He always left something. Now, when he left it, man went in it tampering with it, moving this here, moving that, add this, add this, add this. But that's why we need the word, which is Yah in us. Okay? Now, we're going to do something. Let's go to 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 16 through 18. We're about to tackle something, you all. We're about to tackle something pretty heavy, y'all. This is going to be kind of heavy now. I hope you got your Bible, because we're going to get on top of the Bible and we're going to do a little something. As I was saying to you, I'm at a different level, okay? And it's not a level that I chose myself or a level that I would have chosen. It's a level in which the Spirit of the Yah found fit, where for his name's sake that I must step into in this day and time. And it's going to help support what Sister Deborah been saying all that time regarding the battle between two, the seen and the unseen. This is why the battle of the flesh, y'all ain't considering it. He ain't thinking about that. He said, it's not the war ain't between the battle, and the war is not flesh and blood. Check. You better come over here in the spirit realm and check this thing out. And I think each and every last one of you all need to consider it. Just consider it. Okay. Now we're going to go to Corinthians, the 2nd chapter, verse 4 and verse 16. And we're going to start there. And Deborah going to do something real deep. And we're going to start with verse 16. For which cause we faint not. For which cause we faint not. But though our outer work man perish. Who is the outer work? Who is the outer work? Man perish. Who is the outer work? Anybody. Who is the outer work? Let me get it right. Outward man. Who is the outward man that perish? Anybody. Who is the outward man that perish? Anybody know? Oh, okay, there it is. Okay, the flesh. There it is. There it is. So we understand that the outer work man, it perish. Where do it go? If it perish, where do it go? So is that meaning your outer work or mine? Or does that mean everybody has an outer work man? Or is it just certain people? Being so is saying the outward man perish. So we know that it is the flesh. So is that the flesh of some and not the flesh of others? Anybody in the live chat? If you can. If this outward man that perish mean you, me, and everybody, everyone. There you go. So what did it go back to what we was talking about in the last 5 videos? What did I tell y'all the Spirit said? we are all the same. The outward man perish. That means we all are the same when it come down to the outward man. That's what the Father was saying. One is no different than the other one, Deborah. I don't know where he was coming up with that, but when he laid that thing on me and then smeared it out, I said, you know you awesome. So if the outward man perish, I perish, you perish, isn't that what he's saying? We're all the same. This is what he's talking about. We all perish. The return back to the ground, exactly from where many know in which we come from. Okay? So we are the outer work, we perish. Now watch this here though, y'all. Watch this. But it says here in verse 16, yet. Wait a minute, hold on. What's that? What's with that word? Yet. Why would the word yet be in here? Because he's saying, hold up now. Hold up. Wait a minute. We got a different thing going on over here. Even though the outward man perish, yet, hold up. It's a difference. It's a difference. He said, hold up. There's a difference. Yet, hold up. The outward man perish, but hold up. Don't go nowhere. Yet, the inward man is renewed day by day. Now, right there, what do y'all see? Let me see if anybody gonna pull that up. Let's see if anybody gonna pull that up. Right there in verse 16, for which cause we faint not, but through our outward man perish, though our outward man perish, which is all of us, yet, mean hold up now, not hold up, hold your horses. Yet, something different. The inward man is renewed day by day. So what that is, y'all, that's pulling up on you the twos. It's pulling up the twos. It's showing you we know the flesh and the spirit is totally different. Okay, one is flesh. It has its predestined, which it goes back to the dirt. But the spirit has its eternal destiny. It's already assigned in the kingdom where it is going. So when he's saying, yet the inward man is renewed day by day. That's a different man from the outward man, isn't it? Isn't it? It's the same, but it's got different destinies. One eternal to the grave of the dirt, and the other one is eternal to wherever it is written that it is assigned for eternal. Now listen to what it says. The inward. Why is it in? Wait a minute. Hold up. What is that inward? I'm gonna say this to y'all. Do y'all understand? 99.9% of people on the earth have no idea they have an inner man. I'm serious. Y'all might not even think nothing of that. That's just showing you how blessed you are to know. To the majority, people have no idea that they have an inward man. They have no idea. So where and what reason would this verse be here? It has to be talking to who? The flesh and the spirit, right? But it has to be talking to a special person inward. It's not just talking to anyone. It's talking to a special inward man, because it says renewed day by day. Why? Why is the inner man renewed day by day? Day by day. So just imagine, Sister Deborah 64, all this time, my inward is renewed day by day. Day by day. Okay? One says, because we seek Yah daily, that's where the renewing. All right. But do we need to be renewed? And why? Do we need to be renewed? Daily. Daily. Every day. Do we need to be renewed? Every day. And the final question, how are we renewed? Oh my Yah. Oh my Yah. How are we renewed? A growth by Yah. Yah renew us daily. He is not only giving us physical bread daily, he gives us spiritual bread daily. Okay, all right. Spiritual bread and physical bread is a part of the renewing. Now, when I see this, you all, I'm like saying, well, wait a minute, hold up. You're talking about the flesh is going to perish. But you sound like you're speaking something to the spirit that's inward. The reason why we need to be renewed daily is because we still sin. Daily. Most of us don't even believe that we do, but we do. Sister Deborah, I'm going to tell it like it is. We sin daily. So we need a renewing of our inner man because our outer man sins daily. But just imagine who would do that. Who will want to renew us daily? The same one that stood among Israel and Judah for thousands of years, giving them ways out for their sin. He's that same one. He told them, if you take this and you sacrifice it, it'll be for your sin. What did they do? They take that lamb, sacrifice it, and go right back and commit the same sin. Bring another one up the next day, burn it up, sacrifice it, go back and commit the same sin. They didn't even take him serious about ending the sin. But when you see here in 2 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 16, he speaks of the flesh of an individual. But then he says, yet the inner man is renewed daily, renewed day by day. Because we have to recognize really where we at. We in this world loaded with sin, wicked, and all kind of things. So the Father is letting us know there is within him a spirit to renew us daily. How you think you get into Mount Zion? How do you think that you're going to make it to Mount Zion? I was speaking it yesterday about all the sin, all the wickedness. But I noticed when he said he's going to clean the filth, I didn't see murdering. I didn't see stealing, robbing, abomination, witchcraft, sorcery. I didn't see none of that in the list for Yah to clean up. So that leads me to understand Yah is not going to clean up certain things that Israel and Judah is doing. He's not going to. He said he's going to clean our filth, wash us clean, take away our idols, give us a new this, and a new that. But when we say the whole Israel, we and the whole Judah are going, we have to understand in Isaiah, Jeremiah, and Ezekiel, and even Daniel, Yah is not sending them to leave some tokens for us to think that if you're out here murdering, you're out here whoremongering, you're out here lusting, you see, you're out here doing abomination. Those sort of cleaning up, I'm not doing. I'm not cleaning up that. Now, I'm going to clean up the sin when I get you there. But I'm not saying all wicked and evil and sin. We want to make him be liable for us over in Mount Zion cleaning us up. He already told us how he's going to clean us. He didn't say he was cleaning up murderers, adulterers, abomination, because he wouldn't be just. Because those are the things he held hard and firm toward not just Israel and Judah, but all nations. And to clean up Judah and let Judah do it and Israel do it, and then all the other nations doing it, but they don't get cleaned up. I'm talking, y'all. I'm talking. Yah is so just in every way he has prepared. So here, when he said the inward man is renewed day by day. So he's dealing with the inward man. Now, is the inward man what you can see or what you cannot see? Is the inward man what one can see or one cannot see? What about the outward man? Can you see him? Can you see the outward man? Yes. But what about the inward man? No. So look like something going on. Something going on behind the unseen. Okay? You can't see it. So this is what people don't understand when he said you fight not against flesh and blood. I know what flesh and blood is going there, but they're going to the grave. But the war is in the unseen, of the spirit of who you are. It's warring with the things of Yah, those seeds of Yah. Or if your seed is not of Yah, then it's warring against Yah and his seeds, his spirit, spiritual seeds. See, the battle is unseen. And we making it a seen thing. And Yah want us to look deeper in the unseen versus the seen. Because look like to me, if you're going to renew them daily, look like you got something set up for the unseen. Why? Why? This is the way he orchestrated it. And because we reject reaching out to get to have the understanding of the unseen, because we want what we see and believe. We want what we feel and believe, so that we can understand what we're feeling, what we see. But it's not what you see you should be focusing on. But hold on, Deborah, how are we going to be focusing on something we can't see? If you're not focusing on the things that you cannot see, then guess what? You're not who you think you are. So let's rumble, y'all. Let's rumble. Verse 17. For our light affliction. Look at the light affliction. And I noticed they call it said light. Do you think your affliction is light? I look at mine, seem like they're heavier than light, but I can deal with it. I can deal with it. But it says light affliction. Watch this here. Verse 17. For our light affliction, which is but for a moment. Only for a moment. Wait a minute. If I'm 64, all my affliction don't seem like it's for a moment. Seems like it's been a mighty long years. But listen to what it says. Verse 17. For our light affliction, which is but for a moment. Because with Yah, our affliction is light. In Yah, with Yah, our affliction is light. And it says, which is but for a moment. Who are you? Wait a minute, hold up. Who is it light to? And who is it for a moment? The reality is, let's cover it up first. Work it for us as far a more exceedingly and eternal weight of glory. So what is he talking about? Who is he talking about right here? Do y'all know who he's talking about? Anybody know who's 17? Who is he talking about in 17? While for our light affliction, that y'all want you light. It don't feel like it's a light, but we in the flesh now. We on the outer man feeling this thing, so we can't see that. For our light affliction, which is but for a moment. Wait a minute. 64. Them afflictions are seems longer, but it's for a moment. Work it for us a far more exceeded and eternal weight of glory. So who is he talking about? He's speaking only of the inner man, inward man. Inward man. Because for the inward man, it's light affliction. Because y'all got this. For the inward man, it's only but a moment. Because y'all got this. But it worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. So all of this that we might have, the light affliction, and just for a moment, work it for us. It's for us a far exceeding and eternal weight of glory. He's talking about the inward man. This is the inward man that this is speaking about. You see what I'm saying? And if you really see what it's saying, it should give you joy, unspeakable joy. Because he's telling you your affliction in your inner man, okay, is light. It's a light affliction. And it's only for a moment. But the work of it is more exceedingly and more as a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. It weighs more in eternal glory, y'all. Your affliction. Okay? Even though it seems like, because if we really focus on the outer man, it seems like it's longer. And it's like it's no end. Okay? And it don't feel like. But he ain't talking about the flesh, y'all. The Father is talking about the spirit. Now, see, this is why I say it's powerful. This message is powerful, because what Sister Deborah is doing, she putting you in and out, And right here, you will get fully lost if you don't understand the spiritual realm versus the flesh realm. You will get totally lost. Okay? So when you get to verse 18, it says, while we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal. You know that battle I was telling you that's being fought? Let me tell you something. That's being fought. But guess what? The victory behind it is eternal. Because that's the victory that Yah holds. It's eternal. It's eternal life. You see? That's why he tells you, baby, the war ain't in your flesh. It's spilling over in your flesh. Your flesh showing you your spirit and which side your spirit on. Is it on the side of darkness or is it on the side of light? When it spill over into your flesh, it identifies who you represent. But he said here in verse 18, while we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are seen not. For the things which are seen are temporal. Watch this here. But the things which are seen are not seen are eternal. That should cut a light on. That should cut someone's light on. The things which are but the things which are not seen are eternal. And everybody looking for the things which are seen because they're taking it at full face value of their flesh. That what I see, I'm going to have this for the rest of my life. Can you take it with you? And don't think it just told you. It perish. So what do you think about the things that you have, that you got, that you're holding on to, that you're looking for tomorrow to do with and to have and to conquer and to say, I got it. At least I'm going to have this. I'm going to have this. I'm going to have this. But see if you're going to be able to take it with you. It only means something when it's used toward those or the things which are spiritual. That's the only thing that lasts. You ain't gonna be able to take it to the kingdom. You ain't gonna be able to take it to the lake of fire. You ain't gonna take it to your grave. You just playing with it to make your flesh think that you got something above somebody else, or that you all that and something. That's how the flesh run with you, because it's the things. What did it say in verse 18? While we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen is just temporal. But the things which are not seen is eternal. And that wouldn't change not one person's heart nor their mind. When it's that hardcore, it's going back to the war in the spirit and the war in the flesh. It's going back to the unseen versus the seen. There go the twos. There go the twos pulling up. In verse 8, there go the twos, letting you know there are those who measure everything in their life based on what they see. And then there's those who believe and measure things toward the things they cannot see. For one is just temporary and the other one is eternal. There go the twos. That's how the kingdom designed it all, based on the twos. Okay. So here in verse 18, it's actually explaining even what Sister Deborah was saying about the war. He said, we fight not against flesh and blood. That's the flesh. Wait a minute now, Father. Wait a minute. Hold up. I got a question. The flesh and blood, that's all we're doing down yonder, is fighting against flesh and blood. You know why he said we're fighting against flesh and blood? It's because we are also warring in our spirits behind the scenes, the unseen. So while you thinking the war is on the side where your flesh can see and understand that it's a war because you see it, the Father said, no, let me tell you something. When you see the battle between man and woman, the battle between white and black, or the battle between evil and righteous, when you see that among the people in the natural, the Father want me to let you know you ain't seen nothing until you're able to behold it in the spirit realm, because that's where it's cut up from the floor. And that's why he's not gonna judge that flesh that you see. He's not gonna. That's why he said he don't deal with the flesh. He ain't coming here to judge what you doing on your flesh, in your flesh. He got your number in your spirit already written and assigned, because the war is behind what you see before you. It's in the spiritual realm. A lot of people take that and they say, well, no, he's talking about Satan and his. You better wake up. Because like I said, 99.9% of people on this earth have no idea that they have a spirit. And nor do they care. They just think that, okay, this is my flesh, I'm living. Because the flesh is for living. And the spirit is for life. That's why a lot of people didn't understand when he created Adam. It wasn't no soul, it was a spirit. So there's only two. It's flesh and spirit. What the world make it to be, let it make it to be. They want to do things in the realm of the flesh, just so the flesh can understand it. But there's a greater understanding that beats the flesh understanding. That is the spiritual understanding. There's two understanding, in case y'all didn't know. One overrides the other. Okay, so I say unto you that here in verse 18, keep in mind, you're challenging everything in the flesh because you think everything needs to weigh out in the flesh. Let's give it another example with this Republican, this Democratic. All of this darkness that's being played out. And you can't get nobody to see that it's all a trap. You can't even get the people to see that this is not about you getting a better life. This is not about them sending the immigrants back. This is not about you getting reparations or you getting a better life or you getting health care or you getting this and you getting jobs. This ain't got nothing to do about all of that. Y'all, this is bigger than that. This here that's going on is bigger than that. And like he says, the only way, Deborah, they're going to be content is when they see it. They're not going to be content. People ain't going to be content. I thought myself, the best thing they could have did in this whole country was to ban voting, boycott voting this year. It would have shook the elites and the power that be's. It would have shook them. But guess what? It need be the way that it is going. Because for Yah's name's sake has it been ordered, not from the earth, but from the kingdom, to go according to the way that it is. I just give the Most High thanks for not allowing me to be in this worldly war, this worldly battle, this worldly darkness of game plan. And then no one is seeing the unseen that's actually taking place 100. Because the unseen is 100. The seen is just trash. You be suffered to get 6%. You see, everybody thinking that, oh, it's, and you know, you got a lot of people waiting for that day, that hour, that month, or that election to be, because they waiting for darkness, y'all. They waiting to see how people are going to cut up from the floor up and act a fool. I want to say to you all, it's mission this way. Okay. If you think you haven't seen anything, hold up. I don't know the day, the hour, the month. I know it's November, the election. I don't know, but I know it's in November. But it's not something that's going to move me at all. Okay. Because I'm dealing with the inner man. Okay. And the inner man of who I am is in one accord with the ruach that's in me. Everybody else want to play that game, you go right ahead, play in it, because you're going to get what you bargained for. This has nothing to do. Watch this here. This election has nothing to do with what's the outer man, Republican, Democratic, Kamala, Trump, Biden. It has to do with one thing and one thing only: Anybody in the live chat happen to know? One thing and one thing only. It has to do with one thing and one thing only. We know that it is the will of the Father, most 100, because his will shall be done. Okay? But what is it that is before us? Anybody happen to know? And you know what I think? I think for this country to have like 15 billion people, you're not going to find too many people knowing what it's all about. And I'm going to say one word. One word. Because people don't understand where we're at today. This ain't got nothing to do with a better president or this one getting in and this one getting in. They all on the same team, you guys. They're all on the dark side. They're working together. And the one thing that it's all about. And then I'll tell you why. Only one thing. And this is where you're going to see all things start to fall under that one thing that I told you about. So someone says destruction. Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else? You know what it is? Only one thing. And it's what Yah has assigned for the day of evil and wicked. A lot of us are very, very, very confused because our mentality is caught up in that we think that it's about. Our mentality in our flesh is caught up with their same mentality all over the United States. But no one really understands what it's really about. It don't have nothing to do with those who run it. It don't have nothing to do with making America great again. It has nothing to do with changing or sending the immigrants over or this. Thank you. Power! There you go. One word. That's it. One word. Do you know this country have 15 billion people? And you would even probably get 100 people knowing that that's really all it's about is the power. That's it. You think it's about money? No. This type of power have all the money. You never thought of it like that. This type of power has all the money. So it ain't money they need. They didn't took it all from you and everybody else. So you tell me, what is it? Power. You nailed that thing. You nailed it. And I like how you nailed it because you didn't add nothing to it. You just slung it out there. Power. That's all it's about. The battle, y'all, is on, whether you see it or not. This is why he said, we fight not against flesh and blood. Y'all out here fighting against Donald Trump, Biden, and Joe Biden, and Kamala, and better president, making great again. You all cannot see the power must step in and on the scene. Why? Why do the power? Why must the power? Why do the power? Why must the power? Why do the power? And why must the power step on the scene in this day and time? Right now. Anybody know? Why should the power step in? Why is it that it's not about money? The last battle, okay. The last battle, okay. Okay. But why? It's the last battle, you say. Why must the power and everything be about the power? Anyone knows? Because in Proverbs 16 and verse 4, Yah, created the evil for the day of evil and wicked. The only one can pull this off, Deborah, is the wicked and evil. And how are they pulling it off? By power. The power must take the stage, y'all. The power must take the stage. Did you hear about how the beast is going to give his power over to no, the Satan don't give his power over to the beast? Hey, what are you doing that for? Why are you transferring that your power over to the beast? You see, everybody thinking it's about money, materialistic things, because our minds, money is our world. Money is our minds. Money is our heart. Money is our beings. It's our understanding. It's our wisdom. It's our knowledge. It's our feelings. It's our emotion. It's our heart and heart. Money is. So we can't see nothing else in this world for it being what it is in this United States outside of money. Oh no, baby. It's time for the power of darkness to take its place. While we're sitting here thinking it's about our voting, our bank account being closed, our this and our that. No, baby. No, baby. Let me go. Now, I ain't going to go there. Proverbs 16 verse 4. Yah created for the day. When he said day, you better stand down. That means it's dark and evil day. Wicked and evil. It's their day, Deborah. Do you think wicked? Do y'all really believe Satan and demonic spirits is spending money in the spirit realm? Do you really think that they got empire state buildings and castles and land and you really believe the demonic spirits is caught up in your bank account? That you think they caught up in materialistic things? No, they ain't like you and your flesh and your spirit, if that's what you are, because that which you are in your flesh is most likely your spirit that's battling. And that's why you can't defeat making everything about materialistic things. So it's power. Satan them ain't here. What are they gonna gain power for? I mean, what are they gonna do with wealth, or gold, silver, currency? What are the unseen spirits gonna do with it? You see how sick we are? We really think it's about that which they have taken from us. You know what? It's nothing no one on this earth that's wealthy can do with money. No one in this day. Only thing they have left is the power. Is what everybody is after. Just the power. I sit back and watch here in this country how 15 billion people and none of them can understand that China owns this land. Why is it you can't understand that? Why is it if I in the spirit realm can see it in the spirit and no one in the natural can see it, but those that are swinging this sort of power to know the truth of what is taking place in this country, they know. And then you hear Judah, men, complaining about what China is doing. They moving here, they moving in on California, they moving in on Florida. What do they have to do with you? They own the land. Just because you ain't figured it out yet, that don't mean nothing. They own the land. So much going on, and we are lost in the whirlwind because we believe it's what we see. And that's exactly what this is saying. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 18. While we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen is eternal. Is eternal. Satan knows. Demons knows. Darkness, wicked, evil. They all know. They can't do nothing with no money, no gold, no silver. It's the power, y'all. That's the only thing in this country left is the power. And they the one got the people believing a lie while they set up the power. They setting up the power while the country is acting a fool about something that they gonna have no power over. Never did and never will. That's how the power that bees have gotten so much victory out of this country, especially doing tax, taking tax, Medicare, Medicaid, not Medicare, Medicare, Social Security, local tax, state tax, federal tax. They won you a long time ago. You got to pay for everything. Like I said, if you made $23, you're going to bring the $3 home. They're going to get the 20. They've been doing it all these years. And the people in this country is just that blind. And now, when they see that the election had nothing to do with immigrants, Kamala, Trump, Biden, but it is the power that's ready to rumble. Why is the power wanting to rumble? Because they know that Yah has given them a set time in his will. They know that Yah has given them a set time in his will. It's already written. And they know, wait a minute, he set us up for this time. We better do what we got to do. Because they know the time of the lake of fire is also set. It's just us stupid humans on this side carrying the breath of life and a spirit. That's just us lost with the cause and without one. But the darkness, with that's right now, all they worried about is power because they're entitled to it, you guys. They are entitled to it. Y'all talked, the prophets, the disciples, Yeshua talked about it. Yeshua talked about it. Yeshua talked about it. The Father, Daniel, Ezekiel, Jeremiah, all of them talk about the DAY. But the people in this DAY don't see nothing. They think everything is light. And it's pitch dark out here. Short time. They know it. The power that bees know it. So what do they have to do? You better come on and move it on up. You know, y'all only gave you a length of time. So that's what they're doing. That's why Satan is going to give his power to the beast. Wait, what are you giving your power to him for? Huh? And notice their time is not going to be long. The false prophet and the beast, their time is not going to even be long. Why? Y'all control the time, y'all. While y'all sitting here trying to make him like him to a man of the flesh, he's the one who has all the power. He set up the time. It's a spiritual time. It's set up in a day. And this is all it's about, power. I sit back and think. I said, what's the deal with this country? It's over. So if you sitting here trying to make sure you so set up because of the country, you're going to be set up with the country because you're going to go down with the ship. Because it has been said that this ship going down and everybody turning their head the opposite way, like ain't nothing going on. These Europeans actually think that things are going to get back to a great old America. The best great you're going to get is a great fiery furnace. That's about how great you're going to get it. That's why people are doing evil, being more racist and hateful and evil, because they think they're in control. They don't even understand you evil on your flesh because you evil in your spirit. That's the real war, your spirit. It then poured over into your flesh, letting you see how ugly you are and how doomed and damnation. But no one sees it like that because they're looking at the outer man, which is the flesh. And they didn't had it so well in the flesh. These Europeans ain't looking for nothing to happen to this country outside of it getting back to normal and being great again. You ain't never been great when you have destroyed many people to get what you have gotten. Great don't come by how many people you kill, steal, and destroy, and take land and oil. That don't make you great again. That shows you how great of a fool you always been, and you're going to be. It does not set you up for any greatness. But yes, they still yet insist that this great old America is so great. And they really believe it's going to be all that and some in the days to come. So I say unto you all, during this election, ain't nothing going to come out of it good. And from that day on, not just that day, it's nothing coming out of anything today. But the minds of people are so full of thinking that they rule on this side, the outer man, and that the inner man ain't got nothing to say or nothing. They don't understand the power of the spiritual realm to the point. Like I was thinking, when I'm gonna tell y'all something, I was thinking about how on the spiritual realm, if it was not for Yah, if it wasn't for the Most High Yah, many of you all will feel the spiritual realm. I mean, will feel the dark realm in a way you never have. In a way you never have. I remember this happened to me since I was in this place probably 4 or 5 times, about 4 or 5 times in the bed, sleep. And all of a sudden, you feel something pulling your cover. Pulling your cover. I wake up and I like, is this real? And I'm sitting here watching it. Pulling the cover up. But there was no fear. No fear. But I wouldn't sit here and tell you that it wasn't real. It was 100% real. So if you think that these spirits are not out here, then that's on you. I know who I am in Yah and who Yah is in me, but it ain't going to stop them spirits on you, me, or any of us. Okay? If they can go down into the grave and pull up Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob and bury them again, they would if Yah would let them. That's how this power that's out here is really out to frighten you while you're in your flesh. It's real. The thing is real. Like the thing that y'all said, y'all heard. I didn't pay that no mind. It didn't bother me because it wasn't in my video. It wasn't in the park that I was in. Oh no, that sound was not there. You see what I'm saying? None of it. So it took me to go back to hear what everybody else was saying. But I thank the Father for the full revelation of it, of what happened before it. And he wanted me to focus on how long I heard the sword. It was quite a long time in that video. And it was sharpening. And if you go back, you can hear the sword. You see? So I'm saying to you all, without the Most High Yah, I don't know what y'all gonna do. And sister ain't saying it to frighten nobody. Because you know what? Honestly, I don't think people in their flesh are frightened of anything. Because they think what they have, what they got, what they doing, who they are, it's more than anything. Okay? And that's all well. That's all good. Now, one thing I do want to talk about, and that is Corinthians. In First Corinthians chapter 2, 1 Corinthians chapter 2, and I will end it with this here chapter here and what I want to cover here. 1 Corinthians chapter 2, and we're going to start with verse 7. And I'm going to show you something here that's very powerful. In verse 7, it says, but we speak the wisdom of Yah. Wait a minute, hold up. What wisdom is that? But we speak the wisdom of Yah, as if Yah got his own wisdom. He do. He has his own wisdom. So the wisdom 99.9 has on the earth is for the flesh. You see, the flesh has wisdom. We're talking about the twos, okay? The flesh has wisdom and the spirit has wisdom. And here in verse 7, 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 7, but we speak the wisdom of Yah in a mystery. That's who Sister Deborah is. And this is why many times people be trying to figure out, and I'm saying many times, where are you coming up with this? How did you know this? Or what? Because it's the wisdom of Yah, not the wisdom of man, that I speak these things. It is the wisdom of Yah. And the wisdom, it says here, listen to what it says. And the wisdom of Yah is a mystery. So who is it a mystery to? 99.9. He's giving it to his servants, the prophets. The mystery. And we speak Yah's mystery, not man's mystery, not man's tradition, not this book with a mystery. Wisdom. We speak wisdom, not man's wisdom, but Yah's wisdom. And we speak it in a mystery. That's why a lot of people can't catch it. That's why a lot of people can't grip it. That's why a lot of people can't get it. Now watch this here. Even the hidden wisdom. So there is hidden wisdom. See, everybody think they got it made. Oh, I understand. I got wisdom. I got knowledge. No. We're dealing with the twos. We know we have wisdom in the flesh. We know we have knowledge in the flesh. We know we have understanding in the flesh. But that's for the flesh. We're speaking of Yah in the spirit realm of who he is. Okay. And he says here, even the hidden wisdom. You mean we got hidden wisdom? Yes, we do. And it's being spoken in this end day. Okay. Watch this here. And it says, even the hidden wisdom, which, listen to this, which Yah ordained before the world unto our glory. See, you all thinking that you just come here and you just get it and it's mine and I can understand it. I got it. And you ain't got nothing, baby. Y'all written this before the world even began into those that he has put it in. It's his wisdom that's in his. Not the wisdom of man, not the wisdom of your favorite pastor, your favorite leader on YouTube. No. That's not the wisdom. The wisdom of Yah is the hidden mystery as well as mystery itself, but it's found in Yah. Okay, so what does it say here? It says, even the hidden wisdom, which, meaning showing you Yah hid the wisdom. He hid the wisdom. That's why a lot of people thinking they can catch on to any and everything. Oh, I know what they talk about. I got it. No, baby, wait a minute. Yeah, you got it. You got it the way the flesh gave it to you, or the way you learned it in the flesh. Yeah, I understand. You got it. But here, Yah, it's being told, which Yah ordained before the world until our glory. It's what he put in us, you see. And that's why you all need to expect many to come or others to come, speaking things you have not heard, things you have not understood, things you have not seen. People don't need to follow everybody's tradition. I had someone ask me a really good question. The question today in the comment, it was, he say, when we pray, what about the word I am? And he told me where that word I am come from, and that we really don't need to say I am. And as I was explaining to him, when you pray, it shouldn't be about you. Praying from the beginning to the end should always be exalting, magnifying, glorifying, edifying the Most High Yah from beginning to end. That's true prayer, y'all. That's what you call real prayer. All this other stuff you trying to add in, do this, can it bless me here, give me this, heal me here, hear me here. He knows what you need before you even ask him. So why not magnify him when you pray? See, a lot of us, we hold on to a lot of tradition and we ain't gonna let it go. So saying amen or amen or whatever, what is it gonna gain you? Nothing. Nothing. But I tell you this, I dare you to put Yah at the beginning of your prayer and end him up with your prayer by magnifying, glorifying, edifying, identifying him, exalting him from beginning to end, and get your tail somewhere and sit down. Sit down. All this other added on stuff, just want to sit down. If he's the creator who knows our needs, know what we need, when we need it, how we need it, and when we need it, we got to know he got this. But I want to glorify you for who you are. Every last one of your prayer don't mean nothing to Yah. Because you want Yah to do everything for you in your flesh. You don't have to say nothing right for him. You don't have to think nothing right for him. You don't have to put this here and put this and put this and put this on there. You don't have to do none of that. Tell you what. How about this? When you start off your prayer, Most High Yah, I just thank you for being you. For you are excellent. You are so wonderful. You are so great. You are so powerful. Oh, Father, you all powerful. Tell him how good he is. It's about time. Because we think it's about praying to say we done something, or to feel we done something, or to feel we helping Yah out by praying. No, you ain't. Because your prayer ain't nothing to the Most High Yah. Why? Because it ain't doing nothing for him. It ain't edifying him. It ain't glorifying him. It ain't magnifying him. It is not exalting him. It's only giving you what you said in the prayer to yourself, because it don't mean a rat's behind to him. He already know what you need, when you need it, how you need it, and a way to get it to you. Your best bet is to glorify him at the beginning of your prayer to the end and get your tail somewhere and sit down. It ain't important to put a man, a woman, a nothing. It's just glorifying him. We are in such a midnight hour. These are the things that we need to be partaker in. But when you do it with all that is in you, all the strength of your mind, your heart, everything. But you want to be sincere. But you know what? I'm sitting here telling you how to pray to the Most High Yah should be your prayer. But what sense is it when you have to feel that about him? You got to feel he's excellent. You got to feel he's all power. You got to feel he's the greatest. You got to feel he's the wonderful one. You have to feel these things within you to be able to glorify and exalt him for who he is. But Sister Deborah, I say this to you, ain't no prayer Go override and exceed the prayers of just glorifying and magnifying and exalting him. If I got a son in Texas, I got a daughter, I don't know where she is. She's supposed to be in Texas. If I got a daughter over here and a son over here and a son over here, only he himself knows how, when, and the way to protect them. All I want to do is magnify you, Father Yah. I want to exalt you. Why? You can't do nothing about them grown kids here, and all over the place. Like it's Christmas. You see? Just jumping place to place. But what you do is you make sure you make y'all your main thought when you wake up and your main thought when you lay down. And magnify him. If you have to wake up in the midnight hour to turn to the left, magnify him any second that you awake. You're going to eventually go right back quick, because that's what it does. Make it about him and not about you. Okay? So in 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 7, it says here, but we speak the wisdom of Yah in a mystery, even the hidden wisdom which Yah ordained before the world unto our glory. Now he ordained that. So what can Sister Deborah do about that? I can't do nothing. I just got to pour out what he poured in. When did he do it? In the kingdom, before the world was created. You see? See, a lot of y'all thinking you just went somewhere and you got what you got. You is who you are. No, baby, you were written. You was assigned. You was appointed. You was predestined. You was ordained. You were foreknew. Whether it's for the serpent seed or whether it's for the spiritual seed. Verse 7, which none of the princes of this world knew. Listen to that. None of the princes of this world knew. Knew what? Knew what? None which, verse 8, none of the princes of this world knew. Knew what? What is it they didn't know? They didn't know that the mystery Yah had already given the wisdom of the mystery to those that he had assigned them to. And it's showing you all of this was done before the foundation of the world. And the princes of the air, which is the wicked ones, they had no idea. Watch this here. Verse 8, which none of the princes of this world knew. The wicked, the evil, they have no idea. For had they known it, they would not have crucified Yeshua of glory. Yeshua HaMashiach of glory. They wouldn't have crucified him. Had they knew what? The plan of Yah. So you see how the wicked, the evil, they don't know the plan of Yah. They know the order Yah have given them and assigned them before the foundation of the world. But they don't know Yah's plan. And it tells you here, had they known, they wouldn't have crucified the Messiah. Had they known. So you see how the wicked and evil don't have the plan of Yah. All they have is their plan that Yah has given them. What do you mean? Proverbs 16, verse 4. And it's not just in Proverbs. It's all over your instructions and direction book. But I speak of Proverbs 16 and 4. I speak of that because it just totally lay it out for you. So you can't have nothing to say. He made it short and sweet. Here it is. Proverbs 16, verse 4. Yah has made all things for himself. Satan wasn't made for himself. See? This is what I'm saying, y'all. He's telling you he made everything for himself. We said that everything is made for us. Why? Because we so in tune to the flesh, in the way of the flesh, the thinking of the flesh, the feeling of the flesh, the understanding of the flesh. We don't have no idea that everything he created was for himself. Now listen to what he says here. We in Proverbs 16, verse 4. Watch this here. And then it says, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. So you mean that was for you still? Yes, Deborah. So go on and tell them. It was for me too. You see? You see how what we're battling right today in all of this politics and this hate and this evil and this wicked and this racial riot and war and all this stuff that's going on, and we thinking we got full control over everything. Baby, you ain't got control over nothing. He still got it. Even every evil and wicked, he already ordered them for himself. Why we sitting here thinking we can put him in a little black box and make this thing about what we say, because we the flesh, we gonna rule on that end. No, it's finished. It's over. Okay. So here in 1 Corinthians chapter 2 in verse 8, it says, which none of the princes of this world knew. They still don't know. Only part they know is what they are assigned. And in this day and time, it's power. It's about power. You cannot tell Satan, demons, wicked, evil to be about money, gold, silver, oil. It's not about that. It's about power. That's why the rich of the rich, it's no, you can give them another, you can give them more and more. It ain't gonna mean nothing. You know why it ain't gonna mean nothing? They are not even chasing riches. They're chasing power over you. That's it. They need the power because that's the day of wicked that Yah has assigned them to. And it is their day. So they want to use and continue to use the power to their advantage because they know they only have a short time. So they're taking advantage of it. So while this United Snakes thinking it's all about all of this stuff that they trying to crank up and make be, and it's so much hate, you guys, out here. It's so much wicked and evil in this country. Honestly, I don't think there's no other country this wicked and evil, y'all. Now, I think it's all over the world. Don't get me wrong. I think the United States is very, very, very wicked and evil. It's almost, to me, I would think it's the yoke of the egg of wickedness. I really do. And I think that here he was talking about in verse 8, which none of the princes of the world knew, had they knew, they would not have crucified the Messiah of glory. They wouldn't have crucified him had they known. Y'all ain't checking with Satan them about his business. They checking with him, seeing if they can do what they were assigned to do, but he don't check with them. That's why I try to tell y'all, stop trying to take the Most High Yah and put him in a black box and try to make him like flesh. Oh, he's limited because he got to do this and do this and do this the way we see it in our flesh. And we don't even understand the war is not what we see. It's what we cannot see. And we cannot see that even the wicked and evil was for Yah's name's sake. It was for him that he created to be wicked and evil in the day we are in, which we deny because we think it's about politics and they doing this and they doing that. No, baby, it's about power. It's time to bring out the final power. And this power is the power that has always been on a monkey on your back. But this time, it's going to be a monkey while you on your back on the ground. That's how this type of power they're seeking. They want the power to destroy you permanently. And guess what? They got it. Yeah, but you're going to get in trouble. You're going to get yourself in trouble. They've been given it. They have the power to destroy you. They got it. I'm going to be in trouble. I'm going to be in trouble. He's given them the power. That's why. And you ain't seen nothing yet. That's why Sister Deborah keep warning you to eat as much spirit and truth. Have your backpack packed with spirit and truth. Make sure you can see a pin, needle, or light. And that's within you, the Ruach. Because it's not going down like you think, y'all. The way y'all think the world got it set up like the world can rule. He has ushered the darkness, the power to do as they please. This is their day. This is their day. As far as Yah, it's finished. It's on. We are living now on their time, and their time don't have nothing to do with money. It has to do with power. One of the things about the power that they like and that they get a kick out of that they have now, and Yah has suffered them to have, was the power of death. They're gonna take you out. They're gonna take you out, and they're gonna do it. Not just you, but don't forget. Listen to this, verse 8, which none of the princes of this world knew. For had they known it, they would not have crucified Yeshua HaMashiach of glory. Had they known the power that they have today, they know they can do. Death is the number one thing that they want power over. And nobody in this country can see it. They can't even see it. The number one thing that darkness wants is death over the power, with the power in which they have. That's why they proudly, it was one time you wouldn't even think to get on nationwide television and talk like this. They said, they letting everybody know. And they've said it because I heard it. I heard it for myself more than once, that they're even bragging on how many that's going to die by the middle of the next year. How many is going to die by the year of 2030. See, they count it up. That's what they want the power to destroy. You see, that's the power that they want. Because people, they don't want your money. They don't want your home. They don't want your nothing. They want the power to destroy. Why? They are spirits. Power to them is greater than the materialistic things to you. The materialistic things to those who feel wealth is all is what it's about. But to the darkness, y'all, all they want is power to kill. And it has been given unto them. So it says here in verse 9, 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 9. But as it is written, where is it written? Anybody know? Where is it written? He pretty much said it in verse 7. Yah ordained before the world unto our glory when he gave us his wisdom in a mystery and his hidden wisdom. But you drop down to verse 9, 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 9. But it is written. It is written. It's written in the kingdom, y'all. Already. It's already written. And what is written? I have not seen, nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man. So it look like this part of the flesh have no idea. Watch this here. The things which Yah prepared for them that give and gave him. Give and gave him. What do you mean? Let's go to Mark chapter 12, verse 29 and 30. A lot of us really can't embrace give and gave because a lot of us think it's about giving something that we have. And honestly, when you have that type of mindset, it's because you're loaded with greed and your heart is wicked. And it has gotten its portion right here on earth. So in Mark chapter 12 and verse 29, Mark chapter 12 and verse 29, Yeshua is saying, and Yeshua is answering one of the scribes that came, okay? He's answering them. Watch what he says. Mark chapter 12, verse 29. And Yeshua answered him, the first of all commandments is, hear, O Israel, Yah is our Elohim, is one. Okay. Verse 30. And thou shalt give and gave Yah with all your heart, with all your spirit, with all your mind, and with all your strength. This is the first commandment. You see, so when you get back to 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse, what was we at? Verse 9. But as it is written, so we know it's written where? In the spiritual kingdom, spiritual place. Watch this here. I have not seen, nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things which Yah has prepared for them. For them. So we know it's a certain one. Ones, we say one can be many in Yah. So he prepared for them that give and gave him all their strength, all their heart, all their mind, all their spirit. What did that mean? Yah don't want your nasty heart in the flesh. Yah don't want your nasty mind in the flesh. Yah don't need your nasty strength in the flesh. Yah don't need your a nasty body. He's speaking spirit. So he's speaking here, give me, it says, prepare for them that give and gave him all their heart, mind, spirit, and strength in the spirit. He didn't prepare and have it written to give them all of this of what he has for the flesh. People still today don't understand. He don't need your nasty flesh. When he said, give me, and it's the commandment, give me your heart, your spirit, your mind, and your strength. He's speaking in the spirit. That's where he abides, in your spirit. He needs all of that of you in your spirit so he can abide in that. He's telling you here that he prepared for them who give and gave him all their heart, their mind, their spirit, and their strength. Remember, he said, you abide in me and I abide in you. That's that spirit. But he needs all your spiritual mind, your spiritual heart, your spiritual strength, and your spirit itself, so he can abide in it. This is what he says in verse 9. But as it is written, it's already written in the kingdom. I have not seen, nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things which Yah has prepared. So if Yah prepared it, it's spiritual, right? It's spiritual. So he says, prepared for them that love, no, give and gave all their heart, their spiritual mind, spiritual strength, and their spirit to him. Now watch this here. Verse 10, but Yah has revealed them unto us by his spirit. By his spirit. So see what I'm saying to y'all, and then I know I even can feel you can lose people because they don't understand the spiritual realm and the natural realm have nothing in common. Nothing. That's why it can't be one of the number one commandments in the flesh. When he says, give Yah all your this, he's speaking spirit. He don't need your nasty flesh in the heart, your nasty mind in your flesh, or your heart in your flesh, your strength in your flesh. Giving that to him, what he gonna do with it? He already told us that he don't deal with us on the level of our flesh. So he's speaking of spiritual. So in verse 10, 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 10, but Yah has revealed it to them, revealed them unto us by spirit. And I tried to explain to y'all, that's the only way Yah deals with me, is spirit. I cannot go into this books of words and expect you to understand it if I don't really break it down in what he has taught me through the spirit, which is in me. He's that teacher in me. So here he says in verse 10, but Yah has revealed them unto us by his spirit, for the spirit searches all things, yea, the deep things of Yah. So only by his spirit will Yah give you or commune with you, deal with you. That's that spiritual realm that he tell us about. Ain't nothing about flesh and blood. But no, it's all about our flesh, what we doing, where we going, what we have, how much we have. We make it about our flesh. And Yah says it's about the things that you cannot see. It's about him dealing with you on the spiritual level. And we trying to hold a relationship with a spiritual Yah in our fleshly bodies. So what does he says? And the spirit searches all things, yea, the deep things of Yah. See, 99.15 billion people don't even know that Yah got some deep things about himself. But he only gives it to those that is in verse 7, that he ordained for the world, before the world, until our glory. He which Yah ordained before the world until our glory. That's who received these things. Okay, so here in verse 10, it says the deep things. Yah does the search through the spirit. And that's what I was trying to explain to y'all when you read in this book. You cannot make it the spirit of Yah. You cannot make it the word. Because listen to what it says here in verse 10. But Yah has revealed them unto us by his spirit, not by a book. You see? And watch this here. For the spirit searches all things. You see? That's how he works. He will search all things, yet the deep things of Yah. Yah's spirit would search all things, even the deep things of Yah. Okay, now verse 11, for what man knoweth the things of man? All right, I like that. Save the spirit of a man, which is in a man. See, then I tell you, there go the tools. He's telling you right here, for what man knoweth the things of a man. A man don't know a cock and picking things of himself. And I'm not speaking of a male. I'm talking about female. We don't know nothing of ourselves, of our flesh. Nothing. But watch this here. The things of a man. It says in verse 11, for what man knoweth the things of a man? You don't. How would you know it? Watch this here. Save the spirit of a man which is in him. Your spirit has to know you, not your flesh. And that's what people think. They think they who they are is they flesh. No, it is your spirit that knows who you are, not your flesh. And that's just me. Let's use me. It's not my flesh that know who I am. It's my spirit. The only thing that got to live eternal. Your flesh can't know you, but your spirit knows you. And that's what it's saying. And it's saying, save the spirit of the man which is in him. And then it says, even so, the things of Yah knoweth no man, but the spirit of Yah. The things of Yah, no, even the things of, let me see, even the things of Yah knoweth no man, but the spirit of Yah. You don't know. I mean, even so, the things of Yah knoweth no man, but the spirit of Yah, through the Holy Spirit, knows of Yah. Just know any man know of Yah. And that's what's kind of deep where we at today. Because everybody said they know him. And he telling you don't know me. You only know me through the spirit of who I am. That's how you get to know me. Outside of that, you don't know me. But you couldn't tell that to these churches out here. You couldn't tell it to the Hebrew Israelites. You can't tell it to the Catholics or nobody, because everybody then made up their own idea of who Yah is, who they are, who the world is, and that's it. Oh, yeah, we got a day that's coming. Oh, yeah, we got a day that's coming. And you know what, y'all, let me tell you something. In spite of the darkness that is before us, guess what? Yah wants you to know that there is peace and joy found in it all. There is peace and joy found. How is it found? Found. It's when you accept the fact that it is what it is. You see? And that's when that peace and joy passes all understanding. It gives you this peace and this joy within that it's okay. You know, and it is. It's a really, really, really good feeling. Even when you wake up. You know, even when you, I mean, no matter where you're going throughout the day, it's a feeling of joy and peace, because it's like he didn't brought this length of light and put it before you so you can see, you know. And even though you can see bright, it ain't for you to try to change what you see. It ain't for you to try to move and force somebody to understand what you see. It's about you just enjoying the peace and joy that comes with what Yah has suffered you to be in the midst of, for you to know, for you to see, for you to speak. Keep the peace and joy that I've given you, and you'll be okay. I don't care what happens after election. I don't care how many people they say is going to pass away. All of that means nothing, because I got a peace that passes all understanding. It comes with joy to know. Now, honestly, I didn't give that to myself. That I do know. But I know that I have it. And it is a form of a comforter to me, especially throughout the times of what I'm seeing that's before me, that's coming. Okay. So here in verse 11, it speaks of the spirit, letting you know, y'all run around here and make it about the flesh if you want to. The flesh don't know nothing even about who you are. But your spirit knows who you are. Your spirit. You know, your spirit knows who you are. Okay. And no man knoweth Yah but the spirit of Yah that's in them. Only the spirit of Yah in you. That's why I keep telling y'all, you can't be running around here talking about, well, yeah, I know this, I know this, I know this. How you know all of that? Did the spirit of Yah that's in you tell you these things? Because I'm going to tell you the truth. I ain't going to sit here and tell you that my flesh knows nothing. Only thing I get, what I get from what is in me. He that is greater in me. He the one feeds me what he wants me to know, what he wants me to see. He show it to me. What he wants me to understand. He teach it to me. Okay. So in verse 12, it says, now we have received not the spirit of the world, but the spirit of Yah. There go the two. You see, that's why the people can't see the spirit of Yah. They cannot see the spirit which is of Yah. That's the spirit. There's two spirits. There's a spirit for Satan's seed, and there's a spirit for the spiritual seed of Yah. See, a lot of people don't know nothing about that because they don't even know they got a spirit. They think it's a soul. And then they play the role as a soul and a spirit, and it confused them, which that's the whole plan, is to throw in some dices and let them pick them up and keep throwing it, and they're going to be confused every shot because they don't understand. Y'all didn't create all that. It's not even that deep. It's spirit and it's flesh. And here in the verse 12, it says, now we have received not the spirit of the world. Now, see, y'all didn't know that the world has spirit. See, y'all think it's just the fallen angels and the spirits here and all that. But you are a spirit. And the battle is in your spirit, not in your flesh. But people don't know that they have a spirit. They just assume that they're flesh and things are going on and things are taking place. But he says here, now we have received not the spirit of the world, but the spirit of Yah. So it shows you there's two spirits. We have a spirit of the world. I mean, one has the spirit of the world because they are born of the flesh. They are the serpent seed. And one has the spirit of Yah. Yah, they are the born of the spirit. And they are the spiritual seed. You see? And it says that we might know the things that are freely given to us of Yah. Given to us of Yah. So everything that I've just talked about is connected to what I've been talking about for the last 5 videos. It's understanding the battle on the other side. That's the real battle. Because we're playing around in the flesh, y'all. And why? Because you get away with everything in the flesh. And it's easier. You can get away with all the things you're doing in the flesh. And even though you're getting away with it from your standpoint of view, you just don't understand, baby. All of it is written. And it's also written how the outcome going to be while you thinking you're getting away with it in your flesh or anything that's on the earth. And I say unto you all, these issues that's we're coming up on in this world today, understand that it is about power. And if you keep thinking it's about materialistic things, if you think that this power that has been created for this day is about your bank account, it's about your bank account. It's about your home. It's about your land. They're coming to take your land. They're coming to take your home. They're coming to take your bank account. It's bigger than that, y'all. It's bigger than that. Guess why? They ain't gonna have no problem taking your cash. They ain't gonna have no problem. They ain't gonna have no problem closing your bank account. They ain't gonna have no problem taking your home or taking your land, because they're going after everybody that got land, y'all. People who went and bought gold and silver, they already got them jotted down. They got the address, their name, and everything. It's not. We think on the outside of the flesh, it's about taking our belongings, stripping us from everything. No, it's about taking your life, your living, your death. It's about the power of your flesh being destroyed. That's what it's about. That's what it's all about. It's not about nothing but taking from you life that you're breathing. That's what the power is coming to work on, is to take that. And it's a sad thing that the world, especially the United States, but can I say sad? No, because the United States have done everything they have done has been dark, wicked, evil. They have taken from everyone, and they have everything they have done. It has been wicked and evil. But now you have to look at it. Look at the United States. When you get to Revelation, they talk about merchant, how they made this and they got this and they got that. You see what I'm saying? They made Revelation is talking about materialistic things. You see? Because when United States fall, they're going to see all their materialistic things go down first. Y'all get what I'm saying? All the things that it talks about in Revelation 18 about their merchant, how they made money off of this and how they did this and did this and did this. They're going to see that eye to eye, and so will you. They're going to see it be deleted in this country. And in this country, you're going to see, if you thought you saw racists, if you thought you saw a war, if you thought you saw any violence, murdering and killing and burning, you ain't seen nothing yet. So when you sitting around talking about, okay, the United States and y'all gonna do this and y'all gonna do this, this is why he wanted me to understand, Deborah, one is no different than the other. One is no different than the other, even though this country, with many others, has treated one better and one worse. But in the eye of Yah, one flesh is no different than the other flesh. That's another one of Solomon's issue that he kept saying over and over and over. There's nothing new under the sun. When the sun shine on the righteous, it shine on the unrighteous. He wanted us to understand all of it is the same. All of it on the earth in this country is the same. Why? Because we still all sin. You see? But what is it then, Deborah? What is it? It is who we are not in the flesh. It's our spirit that Yah is caught up from the floor regarding our spirit. That's why the battle ain't about the flesh and blood. It's about the spirit that lives eternal. The spirit is the only thing that is assigned to the kingdom. For the lake of hell, or for not the lake of fire, or the kingdom, eternal life in the kingdom. One or the other. That's it. And who's going there? The spirit of who we are. So you see why Yah is not caught up from the floor up trying to make one better than the other in his eyes. Now, keep me right now. I'm not speaking of in my eyes, in your eyes, in Yah's eyes. He said one is no better, Deborah, than the other. Why? He said they all sin. They all treat me the same, Deborah. There's no difference between them. They just ain't figured it out. One got this religion, one got this religion, one believe in this, one believe in this, and they're using the same book. But yet they got different understanding. Why? Because they're trying to separate themselves to be different. But Deborah, they are all the same. What makes them all the same? They all sin, and they all are going to the dirt, the grave. That's the flesh, y'all. You see how it makes sense? And it might not make sense, it might went over your head. It's everything goes back to the dirt the same way. The rich going to the dirt, the poor going to the dirt. You see? They're the same. In Yah's eyes, they're all the same. In his eyes, flesh is all the same. That's why you got a million different, not a million, but thousands of different denominations and beliefs. And they use it, most of them are using the same book. Y'all ain't caught up in there. He don't care. Let them have whatever they want. Let them do whatever they want. It's okay. They all one of a kind. They sin and they all going back to the dirt. Now, you pull up on me in the spirit realm, he say, then we can talk. If you can't pull up on me in the spirit realm, go somewhere and sit down somewhere. Talk that worldly stuff, that fleshly stuff, that earthly stuff. But if you pull up on me in the spirit, now we can talk. Because I deal with the spirit and not the flesh. The flesh is one of a kind. One of what? One kind. Sin and dirt. The destiny of your flesh, each and every last one of the flesh, the destiny of our flesh is eternal grave, dirt. That's another showing you that I see what he's saying when he said we are one of a kind. We're doing the same thing. That's why one can't say that this one is this and the other one can't say this and this. We can't, y'all. Even Sister Deborah. Only way I can separate and only way I'm separated is not by flesh, not by sinless. I'm separated by blameless, but not by sinless. I'm separated by the ruach, but not by the flesh. I'm no different. I'm no different. The murderer going to the grave. And Sister Deborah going to the same, not the same grave as he, but into the grave. No difference, y'all. That's what the Father is saying. Why is he saying that in such a midnight hour? Because he wants us to understand the focus should always be on that which we cannot see. We have to understand that we are a spirit. And the way we conduct ourselves in this flesh is our destiny for our spirit. Now, if the grave is for your flesh, do you want your spirit to go to the lake of fire? So if you see yourself living and acting and conducting yourself a hardened heart, a greed, self-centered, self-motivated, a me, boasting, pride, ego, murdering, killing, raping, stealing, lust, and all of this, know that your spirit is partaker in what you're doing in your flesh. That it too shall enter into the lake of fire while your flesh is going into the grave. And then you know what that got me? This is what blew my mind. He said he's going to take the grave. You know how you buried the flesh into the grave? He said he's going to take the grave and toss it into the lake of fire. Revelation 20. When he said that, I was like, you deep. I mean, you going all the way deep. I mean, like really deep. He's taking the grave that we go into a ground. He said, I'm tossing it into the lake of fire. That shows you he don't give a rat's behind about your flesh. He never had plans to be concerned about your flesh. It was always your spirit, what he gave you to come down here with, what he predestined in you. While you run around here thinking you ruling everything, that you can control the beginning and the end of who you are and don't even know. It is written. It's written in the spiritual realm where it was before you even got here. And that's where it's at, and that's where it's going to reside until he have taken it and separated the wheat, not the wheat from the turf, the lake of fire books from from the Lamb Book of Life. Anybody in the live chat, do you have any questions? I know that took you around and around and around and around. Anybody have any questions? It can be a question or an answer to anything. It doesn't matter. Question or answer to anything. I'm on the diet. Yes, the battle is the spiritual. Real. Mhm. For real. Mm. You missed it. I explained to everybody what I heard. And if any of you all, and I'm going to show you how deep this is, what I'm about to say. And I'm going to say it a little bit deeper than what I said at the beginning. I think that it's important that you go back. You go back to that video and see if you, since you heard the demonic sound, which it was, I heard it too. Why is it no one heard the sharpening of the sword? That's what bothered me more than anything, because he wasn't asking me. He said, can you hear it? Can you hear behind? Can you hear it? And you know what I told him? Yes, I can hear it. Sound like somebody's sharpening a sword. And the deepness of it, I didn't hear a lot of noise. I heard something sharpening, because I know I use knives, because I'm a chef. So I know about knives, and I know how to sharpen them, and the way to sharpen it. So the sound of what I was hearing, I got caught up in that sound before I heard the demonic voice. I got caught up in the sound of the sharpening before I heard the demonic voice. So what happened is, when I began to hear the sound, I'm like, wait a minute. Sound like I heard something like a sword or something being sharpened. Because when y'all had asked me, that's what I told them. And I nailed it. That's what it was. And then that's why the demonic voice said only one thing. And next thing you know, the sharpening stopped, and that demonic sound ended instantly. And then you hear me clear. But this is what is deep for me as an individual, having to live on this earth, is to hear these things and to know these things and be alone in it. That's deep for me, because when I hear these things, I'm looking for others to hear it. And when they cannot hear it, that shows me the deepness of my calling in Yah. When I want everybody else to be partaker in a calling from Yah. So I'm like listening to this. I said, well, okay, I got to go back and ask them, do they hear it? Now I can hear it, Father. Now that's the question he put on me. I said, no, I can hear it. I can hear it real clear. It sounded like a sword being sharpening. It was a sword, y'all. It was a spiritual sword. And the demonic spirit knew what time it was. And that's why it said only one thing and took off. And then you didn't hear the sword, and then you didn't hear the sound. You see? So if you go back, you can hear, and if you really be listening, you can hear the sword being sharpening. That was the Most High Yah. You see? Don't ever think that Yah got to come the way you see things or hear things in your natural, or you see things in your natural. Because 4 years old, I'm so used to him coming all kind of ways. I'll be like, "Woo, which way you coming? Woo!" Because the way Yah orchestrate things, he's subject to come anyway. Any way he want to. A lot of people didn't even pay any attention to how he had the donkey to speak. No one ever thought, well, wait a minute, hold up, what's going on here? No one. You can't even get a pastor, a bishop, a priest. Nobody break that down where that donkey spoke. Nobody. You know why? No one can take Yah that deep. They don't think he can go that deep. Because we done made him so much like a man, a human man, to where we don't let him be. Not, and then we don't let him. That's just our stupidity. We want accept him to be the creator with all power to do anything. Like he say, I am the I am. We don't see him like that. He got to be seen only the way we want him to see us in our flesh. If we can't see him in the flesh realm, in the way the flesh do it, we can't hear him in the flesh realm or the way the flesh hears it, we can't hear him at all. So go back. I would like to ask you all to go back. Let's see who can hear the sword being sharpened before the demonic spoke, because the sword was Yah, and the demonic had found his way. And let me tell you something. One thing that did happen while I was there, I did not like the idea of the Europeans acted like I was out of place and this is their area. I did not like that, but it did not move me while I was speaking. It did not move me. You see? So that's what I wanted to tell you all that I got out of it. I got out of it. I did go back to hear it. And the father had broken down that was a sword. And that was what you heard. And he said, but think, Deborah, just think. Did anyone say to you that they heard the sword sharpening? And I said, no. But when I go back today, I was going to mention and see. And even today, no one able to say when I heard the sword and it sounded like something was sharpening. But they heard the demonic, but they didn't hear the sword. That's the deepness of it all. Now, you say you heard them. I didn't hear them. I heard it. Now, I don't know who is them, but I heard it. But I heard it. When I heard it, I only heard that one voice. But the other sound before that voice was like something grinding like a sword, just sharpening. You see? So I didn't hear, yes, right. That's how I saw it. I mean, that's what I heard. And it really didn't have any business. You can tell that it was really something taking place, you guys, whether you all knew that or not in the spirit realm. I knew you all didn't, but it really was something taking place, because don't forget, I had the mic. The mic was already at my mouth. So any other sounds, it shouldn't have never been sounds unless it was something in the spirit realm that was taking place right there up on Sister Deborah. And I after I went back to listen to it, because I didn't hear it. I didn't know that it had existed until you all told me last night. So when I went back, the first thing, I didn't hear the demonic sound first. I heard the sharpening of the sword, and I kept saying, what is that sound? That sound like a sword sharpening. Is that what they heard? Is that what they heard? I kept saying that. And then the father said, well, what is it that you hear? I said, it sound like a sharpening of a sword. And then all of a sudden, that's when I heard that roar, that sound of the demonic. But it wasn't words or sounds. It was just the roaring of it. And all of a sudden, we back on level ground, me speaking through the mic. So I believe that there was a battle, like he was saying, in the message itself, an unseen battle. And I'm glad that I did ask you all, did y'all see the sharpening of the sword? Because the father told me to, when I do the video, ask anyone had they heard it. And it's amazing, but it takes me back to the narrow gate always. Everything always take me back to the narrow gate, because me being in the flesh, my desire is that many can take on the direction to the narrow gate. And I look and desire for more and more to go and enter or go in the direction to the narrow gate. But it seems like it's almost like you're just standing on the sideline. And everybody on one side, you over here by yourself. And the Father knows me. I've never been the type that just want to be in the midst myself. He knows that. But what I'm having to understand that this need be, this is the way he has, you know, orchestrated things to be just what it is. It is what it is. So I appreciate each and every last one of you all tuning in. And uh I will be back. So I appreciate each and every last one of you in the live chat. And again, I shall and I will be back. And I say, have a wonderful evening, late evening. Shalom and shalom.